everybody, welcome back to Beacon Pines. Goodness. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it Beacon Hills. I don't even know what Beacon Hills is. Right. Anywho, let's get back to the game. Beacon Pines.
Chapter 4 Dinner with the Moodwills. Ilona Moodwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luka finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
So Luka, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over the other side of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck. Manners. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like missing?
Luka's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luka, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we have put more effort into
Ilona
dinner.
nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We weren't fully settled in, and Beck had mentioned that it was your favorite. Sorry, are we skipping the part where he said his mom was missing? Beck. Sorry, Luka. This news has us all a little tired.
Luka wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So Beck said that you moved here for work?
Gave Luka a swift kick under the table.
Ow. I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, we're right on the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Prenatal Harvest just made her their newest lead research of derp engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Prenatal Harvest is at the front board of involving agriculture into something more useful than sparkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luka glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luka, is that there are different ways to grow plants. As some people talk to their plants and hope for the best, and some people happily leave their job to allow loved ones to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't.
Beck slammed her fist into the table. Perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luka. How about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rollo soon.
Luka glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like a storm is brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the... Yeah, the automatics aren't that useful around
Luka
here.
wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you for the pizza. It was really good. See you at the festival, Beck? Wait up! I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luka turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably. Luka began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can make it home before the storm kicks
Luka
off?
surveyed the roiling clouds.
I say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll make break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before it gets cold. Luka, Nelly will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. Oh, I didn't get to read that. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest.
Luka squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
Looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luka adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum, which increases amounts of chewing. That one for 47 days.
Luka wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
Weird, I
Beck
know.
looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
Do you think it's weird? You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool.
Luka bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy Trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So, you moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having brilliant parents. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you care enough to keep them, is all. have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luka flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out there in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. Around here, it's all farm reports and static. Oh, shucks. Okay, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, did that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. At least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Roller can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It doesn't used to feel that way. It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luka took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little: don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. Try to hold it all in, and you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something, anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know, something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Here, listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. But things are gonna change.
Luka let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't I just stay somewhere?
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Oh, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolla at the festival? Sounds good, Luka? Don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luka a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter
That's
5.
cute.
Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things, Despite his dreary surroundings, Luka felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luka told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Hey Don, tracking down the lead. You bet. I heard a juicy rumor. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a particular last will and testament. Particular how? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance. There were conditions. Like what? A document that stipulates that Ernest had to take on a child as her board. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo. So the inheritance was forced to take care of him. Yep, or she would have lost everything. Why should Sharper care so much for some random kid? Rumor has it, old Sharper sowed some wild oats. Explains the way the Harris treats him. Or Saul. How did you find this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, Luka. A bit of dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. Oh yeah, the treehouse is on the other side of town. Wow, it's so peaceful. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. And I can only assume this means all the festival preparations have been completed and ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job was involved in deciding things. Well, we all are here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much, sir. Do you want me to be the only one who tells this town that we have felled them? No? That we gave up because, there was a little rainstorm? And we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good. Then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work until the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. What a butthole. Well, are you still up there? Sorry, Roller isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back
Luka had
never.
only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset? Well, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason? I didn't abandon you, I was just a little
Rollo
late.
scoffed.
The rain held me up, liar. You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad, and I got worried. So I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luka. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, the storm rolled out of nowhere. I got stuck over after dinner at Beck's.
Luka stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kinda cool. You'd like her. She kept convincing her parents that she made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you're off making new friends. It's not like that, Orlo. You know, while I was waiting, I made up some upgrades to the mission control. I was gonna be surprised, but you took so long, and the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luka became instinctively angry. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care about you, you... But... I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you. But I kept my word. 'Cause that's what friends do. Wow, that's what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You could stay out as long as you want, and you wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad
Rolo's tone
friend.
changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Well, maybe Pa is right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought the real Luka. Stop quoting your pa's nonsense like it means anything. Well, at least my pa is still
The
around.
words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed, but it was too late.
Luka, Good night, Rolo. Dang it.
Luka dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Called me a bad friend. Look at me, my amazing family. I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Aww. Luka,
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
you slept straight through breakfast. Luka, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oat milk by the door. I've gotta run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back to check in. Later to check in. Sure.
Luka just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
He's gonna be miserable. If Rolo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he can shove it. He's still mad. Oh, I thought Gran left. turning it around.
Luka dozed off again.
Luka? I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Was it hungry? Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rolo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is to sit here in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'll do you some good. Noted.
Luka still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
Okay, so we still can't leave that.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
The complete first volume.
Luka carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday. A special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luka keep it at his house. Luka wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luka's more often. Whatever the reason, Luka didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rolo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luka lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luka? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Mudfield? She said you met yesterday. What'd she say? Is she here? She just dropped us by. I told her that you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. She seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later? Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table. Just in case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luka had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luka stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source. Luka's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luka held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luka peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself.
Huh.
Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luka could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luka leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately
That would
tried
have
to
been
stop
cool
the
to
flames.
see the dream play out.
They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luka's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face. Luka's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luka staggered back. You aren't... Luka felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luka watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luka watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. What does all of this mean? Luka felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luka woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
No, dear. It's only
Luka
Gran.
rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit here and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo thought about doesn't matter. But
Gran silenced Luka with a gentle pat on the leg.
fights between friends happen. It was said. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And you didn't mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. That's so true. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival is today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't
Luka
it?
gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with the corn dog. I need to get going now. Got some last minute festive business to take care of. But I'll come by and find you at the fountain, Ilona, after lunch. Alright. I love you, Luka. I love you too. Oh.
Luka took a deep breath.
Go, Granny. Okay.
Chapter 6.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna stop it here for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And I want to point out something. If you're going through a rough time, it's okay to not be okay. If you feel like you're not important or anything, talk to someone you feel comfortable with. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, I'd say shoot me a message and I could be that person you talk to. Just be like, in the comments below, be like, hey, can I talk to you? And I'll give you my Instagram or something, and we can chat back and forth. But you are important out there. You might not feel like you are or anything, but people do care about you. It might not seem like it now. And don't give up. Things will get better. I, with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Alright, bye.